Hey there, everyone in the DarkMatch cosmos. It's another week in WWE, so how's everyone doing? Yahweh Nisi. I'm Christopher Says DarkMatch's Mastodon of the Monotone. With me this week is...
The Revolver Man.
And I'm Arrow, and all my life I've been searching for someone just like you.
I'll never find it because I am Tifus, and this is what Iron Sheik is tweeting this week. I make it the world news, and you make it a nothing. I am legend. If I see that fucking faggot Hulk Hogan, I fuck his ass, make him humble.
Yes, Hulk Hogan is the, what Iron Sheik said in that relationship. And Iron Sheik is apparently trolling for Hogan ass.
Yes, this is
well, he did get an erection. He did get an erection that one time when he put him in the camel clutch.
That's some good stuff right there.
See, I just guessed that he gets an erection every time he puts anyone in the camel clutch. Thus the subsequent humbling.
Yeah, exactly. Probably one of his favorite positions.
I feel sorry for whoever has to live with him.
Hey,
I'm guessing his agent.
Anyway, kicking off the week, we had Monday Night Raw back on the 25th of July. I know. I thought it was a pretty good episode. I mean, holy shit.
Yeah, the end kind of left me with mixed feelings. I think I'm leaning more towards liking it with a combination of waiting till SummerSlam for the verdict, because that last year that seemed to be the whole thing with the Nexus, and we see how they turned out after their SummerSlam main event. We come into Raw with the title belt directly on this display, as the first match we'll have is the championship crowning, Rey Mysterio versus The Miz.
I had a problem with this being the first match, and granted, I understand why it was the first match, but the thing is, having it as the first match is a big tell that there is some shenanigans going on later.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
no question about that.
It was like that someone made that image about the whole tournament bracket, and somehow John Cena comes out on top at the end, even though he's not in it. And that's
yes, exactly.
I know
that's exactly what happened.
But to talk about this match, I think it, if nothing else, it put over The Miz quite well. His kind of stick-to-itiveness, he was pulling out some pretty sick spots, like that slingshot to the sit-out powerbomb that he did. That was very nice.
Right.
But yeah, would it have killed him though to have Rey Mysterio hold the title for a week, do the next title match for his rematch that he never got next week, and then do the reveal of CM Punk when he celebrates it the next week?
Right.
Yeah.
And
I agree with definitely.
Yeah, dude, talk. Yeah, sorry. Go ahead, Revolver Man. Yeah.
But we are getting ahead of ourselves, so let's continue on with this match.
Yeah, it was a solid match despite all the things wrong with the storyline. It was a damn good match, and I'm not even a fan of Rey Mysterio, and I'll give credit where credit's due.
Well,
right. I'm probably the biggest Rey hater, but that's as far as character goes, but he's one hell of a worker still to this day. He's been pretty much on top for, 20-some years now?
I don't know if it's been that long, but yeah, he's been around.
But I mean, he's been bopping around in the ring since he was 15.
Oh, God, yeah. I mean, he'll even
probably earlier than that. Probably just playing around in the ring at 8,
He even said in an interview recently, or maybe it was on Twitter or something, I don't know, but he said that doing the Sunset, the West Coast Pop really hurts his knees. And he still goes out there.
Just admit it, you bought the new Rey Mysterio DVD, it's okay, just admit it.
Oh, I didn't.
Come on, don't be embarrassed about this. Don't be embarrassed.
Dude, what the fuck?
Just
don't back out like that, man. You got a reputation to keep.
Nah, you just streamed it on Netflix, don't worry, you're safe. But either way, I don't quite, I hate to say about this match, I don't quite remember Rey's input as much as The Miz's. The Miz seemed to be, pulling out all stops, kind of missing a kick and then landing a boot on Rey, and Rey just kind of gets his, 619 spot and just gets the victory.
I still fucking hate the 619.
Yeah. No, we all do. It's very much, even among stuff like the worm and the people's elbow, it's a little bit too flashy, and the setup for it is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
The setup for it is specific to Rey Mysterio. No one else ever does that.
Right. Plus, there's also the fact, like, sometimes they really have to stretch a guy getting to a drop toe hold, or like, oh no, he was like Hurricane Rana into it, but like he doesn't get his balance right, so he's got to like sell it, and he's got to like roll over the rope like one time to make it look good, so he's in the right position, so he can do the tiger feint kick, and it just.
I guess they wanted to put a feel good moment in the first half hour or so of Raw, so they show the backstage where everyone's like celebrating Zack Ryder's fist.
Where all these former NXT, all these former NXT people are there.
Yeah, including Naomi Knight.
Tyler Rex.
Yeah, Tyler Rex was there. Yeah. Where the hell has he been? Not on TV.
The hell cares where the hell
still celebrating with the baby faces in the back.
But yeah, even Naomi Knight's there, and like we haven't seen her since she was on NXT and did pretty well.
I'm sure Oksana was there as well.
Yeah, she was.
And then Titus O'Neil, who's been like the front runner on NXT season 4, or at least the last time I watched.
Yeah, even though he just doesn't look like a WWE guy in the ring or on the mic. Like he pretty much he's pity over pretty much.
There's that. Well, plus the dog bark.
But
the thing is, he's just big. He's a former NFL guy. I think he was a former NFL guy. I know he's at least a former football player. At least played in college. I know that much. But he's one of those football guys who comes in, says, "I want to do something athletic, but I can't make it here. So, what else is there left for me?" You know. So.
Yeah, and plus he has children to raise, but. Nonetheless,
okay, Silent Rage, settle down there.
Either way, after the match, Miz is quite pissed off. He just completely lays Ray out of sheer frustration. It's like he's often very good at doing these kind of like frustrated beatdowns, and that prompts Alberto Del Rio.
And then Real Laza hits, yes.
Yeah.
The theme. Yeah. I just love that they try and sell us like Real Laza available on iTunes.
Yeah, and if you guys notice, he has these new trunks, which I believe he used in Money in the Bank, but they're white with the gold trim rather than the other way around.
I was gonna say they're the white ones. Mm-hmm. I love commenting on male fashion.
And before Del Rio could actually lay out Rey Mysterio and get a pin, like he's arguing with the timekeeper or whomever, giving them the briefcase, and then Mysterio just does a slingshot plancha, like completely thwarting his efforts. And honestly, would you guys have rather him win it? It would have made like the eventual main event a little bit different.
No, I would have hated that.
Yeah.
Well, at least it would have made Cena look less like a heel because he'd be taking up the Miz, some guy who's always been screwing with him, rather than Ray, allegedly one of his best friends in the business.
It's like, call me.
Oh wait, were you talking about Del Rio cashing in or Miz winning? Because I would have gone with Miz winning, no doubt.
It's like, call me.
I thought Miz winning. Sorry, I obviously misheard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the problem with that again, though, is it doesn't matter who wins. Their championship looks like a joke because, they won it and then, I just got squashed by John Cena in one night.
Audience, as you guys could see, we're very much itching to get to the main event scene, but we can't do that now.
Well, I think it all ties together, and it's just kind of a frustrating thing. It's just the little things that irk you like that.
Yeah, they just kind of Tarantino'd this. They just Tarantino'd this whole episode just because everything at the front ties to the end, and you can't really talk about things at the end.
Well, that's usually how they do it. It's usually how they do it. They just usually don't do it with matches.
Yeah.
But either way, like,
just do a talk segment.
In terms of like Del Rio cashing early, like I feel like I'm kind of spoiled with the two penultimate cash-ins because they were way too soon, and we know that Daniel Bryan, like, despite maybe him turning heel, is going to try to cash in on WrestleMania. So it's like I want Del Rio to cash in as early as possible. I think it's probably going to be in the next couple of months anyway, because Cena is probably going to have the title off him for a little bit before WrestleMania.
I think it's funny how you said you thought you were spoiled because of the earlier cash-ins last year. I think it's funny because last year we had 3 cash-ins. We had the Swagger failure, and then we had the Kane, Devil's Favorite Demon, too long of a storyline, kill my own father, and somehow become a face. Basically, then we had the Miz. The Miz's storyline from last year was the best as far as Money in the Bank goes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. They did his correctly, and I guess that kind of shot my argument in the foot with the previous 2 cash-ins generally being not very well received. But either way, we got a champagne bath happening for Rey Mysterio in the backstage, and John Cena walks up to him and shakes his hand, prompting like every internet editor to add a troll face to it. Might as well.
This is mine in an hour and a half. You know that. I know, senor. You're much
Especially
bigger
that
than
last line about telling his kids he's coming home with the title.
Oh God, yeah, that was.
Yeah,
that's how Dominic and what's her face felt.
That's what TV tropes would call funny aneurysm moment. But either way, amid Triple H becoming the new quote unquote chief operating officer, that's what they call it. Cole is talking about how he'll give the state of the WWE address tonight, and we come back for our next match, U.S. or non-title match rather, Ziggler versus Evan Bourne. Thorough.
Fun.
Yeah.
And Dolph Ziggler with his fourth entrance music.
Fourth? Are you counting the Spirit Squad?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah, it's Spirit Squad, Kerwin White.
Actually, count Kerwin White.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Man, that's really reaching back, man.
Yeah.
Either way, like I said, Ziggler versus Bourne was throwaway. Like I bet Bourne did his like high knee at some point, and the finish was he goes for airborne, he lands on his feet. Ziggler gets the zigzag 1, 2, 3, and after
no. He goes for the sleeper hold. It's the zigzag, then the sleeper hold.
I thought it was just
and then the ref calls for the bell. It's a ref stoppage.
Oh, I could swear it was the zigzag that he did.
No, it is a zigzag, and then it's a sleeper hold. I thought they were too close to the ropes, but they still ref stoppage it. And then the best part of the night.
Oh,
God.
Ziggler
picked up like, follow that!
He's just standing on the apron and just yells out to the back, follow that!
And unfortunately, followed by Cena and Ray, but we'll get to that.
Yeah, but they hype Del Rio versus Kofi Kingston, and we have a backstage segment that, like, Jesus Christ. Yeah, they're really gripping for time.
The Dolph Evan match was pretty good. I enjoy it.
I think they're trying to pepper his character with little bits and pieces of Shawn Michaels' actual behavior backstage in the 90s.
Well, it's like pretty good, man. Like, this next backstage segment would have made the match even better if they had just cut this out and given the match 5 more minutes. Bella Twins, Eve Torres, and Keith Stone.
Also, this was a recorded segment. That's the thing. This was pre-recorded, so it didn't really make much sense for the area. I mean, if you recall, what was it, Capital Punishment, they came out with Keith Stone or something like that, or maybe it was Over the Limit. It might have been Over the Limit. I think they came out. And they just sat in, like, the pit area that's kind of that bare, weird area that's in the front row that they always have, like, the guy, I bought a ticket. Especially in the SmackDown versus Raw games, we're like, guess who's at ringside? And he never does anything.
Yeah, but anyway, in this segment, basically, he takes Nikki Bella, he starts drawing marker on her arm, and within 5 seconds in magic editing, she has this collage, this whole tapestry.
What's the marker?
Made of Sharpie.
Full-on tattoo that would make Randy Orton blush.
Yeah, and there's a disclaimer at the bottom of the screen that they got Keith Stone from permission of the beer company.
There was no point in this segment to be aired right here, especially since the Bella Twins...
They're not on the show.
...in a match.
They're not in a match anywhere on the show.
Eve Torres is in the next match, so there's a degree of connection.
Right, but the whole
last
thing being just like, they're using their brain magic.
Yeah.
But they're not even in a match to use it in, so it's completely...
Right.
to draw a marker on her arm when she's...
Unless they're going to imply that one of the Bellas don't shower regularly, and she's still going to have the marker on her next time she wrestles.
Oh, God. Oh, well. Yeah, the state of the Divas division is pretty decrepit.
Save us Kong. Y2 Kong.
Yeah, in about 8 months.
Yeah. I wonder how long they'll actually give her for maternity, and then,
The Bellas didn't even have a run-in in this match.
No, Eve Torres and Kelly versus Maurice and Melina. The latter two of which usually show up on Superstars. Maurice hosts NXT. Arrow knows.
Yeah, I don't even think she's on NXT anymore. I'm not sure. I haven't watched NXT in 5 weeks, and I still apparently have not missed anything. She's
still. But
from the brief things I hear about NXT, I've not missed anything except for Derek Bateman.
But yeah, Eve does among the spots in this match. Eve does that standing moonsault before which she starts like shaking her ass for the crowd, and
oh yes,
if that's not the most awkward thing that you've ever the most awkward setup for any kind of move you've ever seen, then I don't know. It's like you go into one of those old west horror houses where it's run by all these robots doing dances.
Right.
But yeah, if audience, if you guessed that Kelly won with her rocker dropper, then you would have been watching last week's Raw or the week before, but you'd be right still.
And there was just so much ass play in this match.
Oh, also Kelly did the Maurice hair whip, and she was so offended. She was appalled. How dare you take her hair whip?
My hair back and forth. I whip my hair back and forth.
Yeah.
And then of course Kelly's taunt in all of the wrestling games, the SmackDown versus Raw, soon to be WWE 12, the ass slap of herself in the game, but that is what she's now doing to her opponents.
They just got to give her the whole like arms outstretched.
Isn't that sexual assault?
It's nothing in the ring is illegal.
No, but in WWE 12, like they got to give her the arms outstretched, and they got to record her saying "Come on," because that's all she does.
Oh, God. Also, just another Strikerism for anyone who hasn't ever heard this. Stryker once referred to as someone doing I believe it was Kelly. He referred to the Fame asser as the Fame rearer. Because he could not say ass.
PG strikes again.
Oh,
Strikes
PG
indeed.
Strikers? Or PG Striker strikes. Long story short, even Kelly are the winners. Yay, who didn't see that one coming? Heels lose. Okay, backstage. Let us cut to backstage where we see Triple H speaking with R-Truth in what is possibly could have been the greatest angle ever, but this is just the backstage before the greatest angle ever. Michael Cole announces Triple H will do his blockbuster WWE return up next. Yay! We come back. Oh yeah, go ahead.
And as we come back, Triple H comes out to his theme music again in the suit, and in the beginning of a bizarre theme, WWE and Michael Cole can't decide what the fuck Triple H's official title is.
No, it's COO, Chief Operating Officer. They've pretty much latched onto that, and they said it about like 8 times on SmackDown.
Well, SmackDown though said Chief Executive Officer.
No, but it's funny too because they always refer to Vince as Chairman.
The first thing Triple H comes out to cut in his suit is that this company's made $1 billion and it's a global success, and it's because of one man's vision. And he takes a moment to thank Vince, and as does the crowd. So he then goes on to congratulate Rey Mysterio and says like there will be a second match for the WWE title, and both participants have agreed that it has to happen, or something along those lines.
Bullshit!
It was just weird the way he put it.
Yes, it has to happen, but, maybe not tonight.
No, give it a week, man. Let Rey Mysterio ice his knees. Jesus.
But yeah.
I hope Mysterio got double pay for this night's Raw for that crap.
They're in contract.
Shit.
And he does, Triple H does one of the most favorable bait and switches in the history of promos by saying he's like this one man, his name keeps getting brought up, and he's like, I resigned him recently, like he keeps getting brought up, a CM Punk chant starts. So okay, we think, oh, he's gonna come back now. It turns out to be Jim Ross.
And everyone's still happy.
Yeah.
Much to
it's
our
like, what? Yeah!
They cut back to Michael Cole like 3 times, and for a cumulative time of like 15 seconds overall. And the entire time he's just face palming.
Yeah.
And Jerry Lawler's going ape shit. Like, yay! And
Puppies!
Yeah,
what?
Lawler, yeah, I have not seen Lawler this excited since the last time.
I wonder if he legitimately did not know. Oh, no, he didn't, because that's right. Because they actually, this was a legitimate surprise. They kept, they didn't even bring them into the building until they had to be out for Punk and JR.
Nobody knew they were coming back. The responses you get were them like either being genuine or they're them working really hard to keep in character, which is either way, it's kind of a nice little moment.
Right,
well, Michael Cole's on dick mode 24/7, so
even if they hadn't taken that care, it should be noted that Jerry Lawler apparently doesn't go to the production meetings and claims it because he wants it to be more of a surprise. So he always doesn't know what's going on.
Well, he's too busy with his fantasy football.
And drawing pictures.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's actually quite good at that. But yes,
Well,
Jim Ross has finally made his return. It took a while this time, but like all the other times they try to get rid of him, they always bring him back.
What is this? His fifth rehiring?
In this year, probably.
Well, okay, I think those were just kind of
actually
special.
fired, though. He was doing something. He was doing behind the scenes stuff.
He was sauced.
Yeah, he was basically running his restaurant, I think. That's all he's been doing for the last while.
His restaurant's been shut down.
Yep.
What?
That's any incentive to come back.
Yeah, that's kind of been it's not a physical location for a while, but you can still buy the barbecue sauce.
But yeah, if one thing's for sure, he looks a shitload better than he did 10 years ago. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Like he's looked a lot worse and he's certainly in good shape to be doing commentary. Does it for the rest of the night, but yeah, Cole's pissed off about this. He's like, Jim Ross offers him a handshake. He's like, oh, you spent all this time kissing Vince McMahon's ass. You're about to kiss Triple H's ass now, and Triple H
to a special little club we all would love to belong to.
Well, actually, wouldn't Triple H have the Suck My Dick Club? I mean, he wasn't DX.
I guess so. Oh no!
What I don't get is the guy that's just spent the better part of the last 15 years getting himself over by giving Michael Cole wedgies on TV is now officially the boss, and the first thing Michael Cole does is mouth off at him.
Yep. But
nobody has said that Cole is smart, Keith.
Well, he has his severance package, bro.
Yeah. That's the funniest part. Like,
that's his ace in the hole.
Part of this promo. Cole pretty much threatens to walk off and not do his job anymore, and Triple H is like, well, no, I don't want you to do that. So because your severance package is way too much to pay for. It's more expensive than keeping you on.
He got one of those old WCW contracts.
Yeah, exactly. Where he could just sit around and get paid.
So
it's an artifact contract.
But he says, here's the thing: is you can either show up next Friday and we'll do business, or you'll have quit instead of me firing you.
You can show up, quote unquote, Friday on SmackDown Tuesday.
So it's pretty much saying I'm not going to fire you. But if you don't show up to work, I'm taking that as your resignation, in which case you don't get your severance package.
Ooh.
Right.
So he says, no, I'll go work. I'll go back to work right now. He goes, well, that's okay, but you're not at the booth now, so I don't want you at the booth now. You've got a match.
Gave him the night off from commentary, but not the night off from in-ring action. But no, he's retired. He's retired. Undefeated at WrestleMania. No. And then I called his entrance attire, by the way. You were all there.
You did.
Oh, yeah. Triple H pretty much. Triple H says, I got some trunks for you in the back to wear, and Arrow called it.
Yeah.
Go on.
Yeah, although I have to admit, when we get to it, we will.
And they did another bait and switch. Goes, and here's another recently re-signed performer that you're going to be going up against, too.
And that was for R-Truth, though. That was for the R-Truth when they did the little funny back and forth because he did, you're talking to little kids or whatever. What is it, Triple H started talking to an imaginary kid to mock R-Truth and his little Jimmies.
Little Jimmy!
You know what would be funny if what they did with this? If they just turned his, they just used the Boston word for sprinkles, which is Jimmies, that you put on ice cream. Those are his little Jimmies. He keeps them in his pocket.
There's just so much good stuff in here, like Triple H having a full-on argument with his little Jimmies.
Yeah, that was...
Like, no, he's joking. He's not joking. He's serious. Look at him. He's serious. I'm not kidding either. Yeah, and he turns to R-Truth and goes, this guy doesn't like the way that guy's looking at him.
And Truth is like, you must be crazy. You're talking to people that don't exist. Almost as if...
I know. It's like I'm crazy, right? This big old evil Vince grin. That made my week right there.
Truth basically reacts to this by going, I'm fed up with this shit, leaves the ring, and before he could...
I guess... Oh, go ahead.
Before he could get up the apron, Triple H reveals his latest quote-unquote re-signing, and it's John Morrison, which, I'm excited about.
John Morrison?
John Morrison!
Now listen!
He gets informed that he has a match later on tonight against the recent
mystery opponent.
Which is not. Oh yeah, I guess it is revealed right now.
Yeah, right afterwards, Triple H music hits back up. However, it's the King of Kings theme. And who do we see coming out to King of Kings? Michael Cole.
Wearing Triple H trunks.
And boots that were 4 inches too big, according to SmackDown.
And pasty as hell.
And his awful tattoos.
And his water bottle.
Oh,
yes.
The water bottle. But I
see,
do
the
find...
thing is... Okay, the problem with this segment, I mean, honestly, it was funny, but I guess the thing is, if this is meant to humiliate him, he went along with it pretty well.
He sold it. I'm telling you guys, he is, in their regards, their current generation's Bobby Heenan.
No, I know, they think he's funny.
Well, in terms of his wit, no, I think he's good at what he does when he's not like completely burying everyone and not burying it, but like spending time talking about himself instead of in the ring. But
he's trying to get himself over. That's the problem.
He takes everything that he's given, and this especially, like he does the water spit, like a very very limp water spit.
He drowns on he waterboards himself basically.
Yeah.
He'll take anything they give him and he'll run with it. I think that's what they really like about him. And if that's the case, yeah, he's good. They should keep him. They might need to tweak out what he does a little bit, but
see, what makes a good commentator is their ability to get talent over, and because of that talent that they have to get talent over, that gets themselves over. But instead, what Michael Cole's doing is getting himself over without getting the talent over. Or he's attempting to get himself over.
Like I said, they may need to retweak how they go.
Well, see, but the problem
he's got the right.
But yeah, the problem with it
he's got the right attitude and work ethic, wherein, hey, Cole, you're going to do this humiliating thing. He goes, all right, I'm game.
But the problem with it is, like, we could say that, like, they need to tweak his commentary, but he does this every week, and it seemed from the sound of it, Vince enjoys it, so.
Yeah, Vince thinks he's hilarious.
But yeah, his opponent is revealed, and fucking Zack Ryder.
Well, okay, they showed a silhouette, and I called this one wrong, I'll admit. I said it was going to be Alex Riley because I saw the hair. It was a very generic silhouette, I will admit that. But the thing is, you could tell that it was somebody with spiked hair, and I did not go with my gut instinct, and I regret that. If only I would have read Superstar spoilers, I would have known that Alex Riley already had a match that night. Son of a bitch.
Oh well. See, that's what's better about not reading spoilers.
But then I get to listen to, oh, radio, tell me everything you know.
Yeah. Ryder comes out wearing his new authentic WWE Broski shirt, shouts call me to some random rat in the audience.
Also, my favorite part of this was his Twitter afterwards. This week, I had a match with entrance. And I won.
With entrance. That's my favorite.
I just love how self-aware he is. He knows that people make fun of they know the guy, they know the jobber entrance, they know this, and he's just so self-aware.
I think that's something someone said raised the question earlier today on Spoonie Experiment forums that, is this the reality era that we're entering? I don't think it is so much as the self-aware era.
The snarky shooting, not the always shooting.
Yeah,
brother.
But
which if you're gonna shoot constantly, snarky is the way to go.
But yeah,
if you're always gonna shoot, you gotta shoot from the hip.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Not go out there, especially when we know you're not shooting.
But yeah, in the most intentional irony, Zack Ryder wins in 30 seconds with the Rough Rider. I mean, of course, it's Michael Cole, but still, Zack Ryder wins a match in 30 seconds.
It was one of the worst Rough Riders ever, but, I mean, it's no bro kick 3 seconds, former #1 contender Zack Ryder.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, again, though, Michael Cole did a good job playing the whipping boy in this match, too.
And we don't see him for the rest of the night.
Which made No Leaf very happy.
Yay! Yay! Yay!
Get off my show!
Yeah, boss.
Hog. And you can be
You're
Enos.
the boss of me. Oh wait, shit.
But yeah, it was fun to see Zack. Cole did well in his Triple H tights, and our next match is Del Rio versus Kingston. More standard fare, like Raw.
Well, we had Ricardo, one of the best parts of the show.
Yes.
Yeah, Ricardo.
He came back. I forgot about that.
He came back like 2 weeks ago. That should have been one of their big re-signings.
He came back.
We got Ricardo back from injury.
He came back at Money in the Bank.
Yeah, Del Rio.
A week before that too.
He introduced him, and he should have said that, like, well, who cares about JR? I've just re-signed Ricardo Rodriguez.
Yeah, screw that guy.
Best announcer ever had.
But yeah, do you guys think that Ricardo Rodriguez is going to pull an Alex Riley and after taking so much shit from Del Rio, he'll turn on him and do a second rope corkscrew splash?
But so far he hasn't taken any shit from Del Rio. They've been buddy.
Yeah, that is true.
Well,
For pretty much a servant, like, they treat each other with a good amount of respect.
Yeah, I don't know what they're going to do with Ricardo, because we all know he's an FCW, and he's not under his Chimera mask either.
And he has wrestled on NXT.
He wrestled on NXT, he got an airplane spin, and then he got thrown over the top rope.
He did a stumble splash.
Yeah, so, I mean, he can take bumps, he knows what he's doing, but, I mean, if he's just going to be a ring announcer, I mean, that'd be fine, but...
I mean, he's fine in his role. It's like, but if they want to do more...
He's great in his role. He's great in his role, but I have a feeling that he wants to get in the ring. And the thing is, I don't think a feud with Del Rio would be good for him.
No.
Because I don't really see Ricardo as anything over a mid-carder, ever.
Yeah, this was good enough if, like, basic psychology of Del Rio really attacking Kingston's arm and then locking in the cross arm breaker and winning.
It was a good TV match.
Yeah, it was.
But I think the only problem here is granted, Kofi's still stuck in mid-card hell, and Del Rio is clearly a main eventer, but I think the problem with this is it's going really neutral booking. Del Rio's getting his win back from losing at the pay-per-view. I mean, not the pay-per-view, from losing at the tournament.
Quite honestly, like, if they want to have a strategic way to keep the belt off of Cena, which I don't believe, but CM Punk could win, and fucking Del Rio will get a shit ton of heat for successfully cashing in on him.
Exactly. He would get a lot more heat if he cashed on Punk than he would if he cashed
at this point, at the very least.
Right.
At this point.
Plus, the thing is, I think it would be important. You could get Kofi over a lot more if he just consistently beat Del Rio, because Del Rio is always going to be hated. I mean, just like JBL said in his video when he was talking about Albert Del Rio, he said it's the same gimmick as $1 Million Man. People in the crowd do not like rich people flaunting their money in front of them. It's just a fact. They don't like the arrogant, pompous ass who has all his money and has his own personal ring announcer, comes out in a nice fancy car every single week and talks about how much better he is than everyone in the audience. They just generally don't like that. And
you can come out in your own car and advertise the fact that you are rich, but it's the fact that you say that that's what makes you better than people.
Exactly.
Well, they also don't like it if the rich person flaunts it in Punjabi, but that's in a different way. They don't like it. So.
Yeah,
and we'll get to that. Unfortunately, but yeah, like as Arrow said, this was a decent TV match. Like Kofi always delivers in his 5 to 7 minute kind of spots, and as does Del Rio. Like always good to see the step up Enziguri and stuff like that. But
yeah.
After that, we get a backstage Miz promo. Take it away, Tifus.
Oh, God, backstage Miz promo. I'm too happy right now. Someone else do it.
He's like, I
love Miz.
Basically, he says, like, oh, things were shit when Vince McMahon was in charge, but now that Triple H is in charge, it's gotten even worse.
He also did have that tweet. That tweet about things are looking awfully similar to the Vince McMahon era or something like that. Basically, it doesn't matter who's in charge. It's always going to be the same thing, which is kind of a bad thing to say, but, I mean, it doesn't really matter. It really goes with this character, and I hope he's not going to get reamed out for that.
No, he'll be fine.
Yeah, I think he should be.
Do you think he's still going to be tied up with Riley, or he's going to have like his own kind of role, like criticizing the direction of the company nowadays?
I think that would be dangerous because that's kind of Punk's gimmick.
Yeah, you are quite right about that.
I could do it in a different way.
Miz has his whole shtick down. I mean, what was it? I think, I can't remember who it was. There was a article, it wasn't on I Want Wrestling, but I think it was an interview a while ago with a guy who was recently fired. I guess not recently anymore, but when they were in booking meetings and things like that, they would talk about how The Miz, he's probably the best talker they have, who can interact with the audience the best, and they said that maybe he's not The Rock, but he's the best we got.
And that's not an insult either.
No, it's not. Not by a long shot.
No, that's a huge compliment.
I'm sure he might be able to get there eventually, but you never know.
Well, between him and CM Punk, you got two guys that can really milk a response from the audience.
Right.
And that's exactly what you want. Especially in your heels, because more so than a face being able to do that, a heel doing that is going to generate interest in their upcoming match. Because the babyface can be bland as all hell, can't work a microphone to save his life. But as long as that heel can really sell the match and sell his shitty attitude, and that the fans want to probably see him get his ass kicked, they're gonna go with it.
WWE title match number 2: John Cena versus Rey Mysterio.
Good match.
Yes,
Terrible idea.
Terrible idea, but that they both performed
Great
very
match.
well. Like a nice
Ray really saved this, and honestly, I think this shows kind of how not great John is in the ring.
But
he's very basic, I guess.
Yeah, but you can sit there and say that about anyone though. Everyone's gonna have their own style of pulling off basic.
Well, I'm not gonna say that about Ray. I'm not gonna say that about Punk. And those are two different guys, two different styles, two different guys who travel in two different buses. And I usually hate Ray. I mean, I hate Ray's character. I know he's a good technical wrestler. I know he knows what he's doing. He's one of the best in the business today as far as technicality.
And as a human being, he's still a good guy too.
Well, same with John Cena. John Cena's a great guy, but I still don't want to see him holding up the title for a 10th time.
Well, it's only 9.
No, it's
like 9 with the WWE champion. It's like 2 or 3 with the World Heavyweight. He's gonna break Triple H's record.
Well, see,
there's no doubt.
The thing about it is, like, Jim Ross kind of put this in the Legends of Wrestling roundtable about rivalries. They were talking about Brock and Austin being the 2 top guys. Cena is their top guy. Like, Jim Ross pretty much put it in that way, that there is one top guy, and that's John Cena. It's pretty much it's not really debatable these days unless Punk manages to achieve the status of like a sort of Stone Cold tweener.
I'm aware of that. I'm aware that Cena's their top guy. There's no doubt about that. There's no getting around that. But the thing is, a babyface chasing the title always draws more than a babyface with the title.
Well, right now we have, and this is going to get a little bit ahead of this match, but right now we've got a disputed championship. Okay, so it's.
I would honestly say they don't acknowledge Punk's championship.
No, but he's disputing it because he never lost.
Right.
It's like,
I know. And it's
for
a new regime.
For as fast as he came back, I mean, obviously Triple H knew CM Punk was under contract when he made this title match.
Well,
so,
right.
There's some funny stuff going on backstage, and I think with Triple H knowing that stuff and having to know that stuff while all this is going on, despite what anyone else knows or doesn't know or doesn't acknowledge, that's Triple H in character saying, yeah, we've got a dispute here, and we're going to hash it out. We're going to figure it out.
But
there's money to be made here, and that's what Triple H is doing as the character.
Well, there's obviously money to be made, but I think it could be done so much better if they would have waited a while. Like I said, Ray's going to draw in California.
No, I completely agree with you on that. They should have waited. They should have had one developed week, and that would have been fine. But now we've got 3 developments in 1 week. What are we going to do for the rest of the time before SummerSlam?
Question. Do you, again, getting ahead, do you think that they might have the Punk-Cena match for Night of Champions because Ray has his rematch clause up? Or do you think they're just going to blow that away on TV?
I'm just saying it's kind of really, really iffy to speculate on which way this is going to go until.
But the thing is, they view Punk is obviously the hottest commodity in wrestling today. I mean, hell, TNA is trying to capitalize off of like the 5 matches Punk had in TNA.
Okay, you know what? TNA trying to capitalize off of what WWE does is not news. Okay, I'm just saying
anyone with Punk footage right now is trying to find it and they're trying to sell it.
Oh yeah.
That's my point. Everyone knows Punk is the hottest commodity. I think the only way you should get your rematch or your rematch within a month or whatever it is if it's against the same guy. So really, I don't even think that. I mean, this is my opinion. If I were running the promotion, obviously it's not the case. Basically, your rematch is good for a WWE title rematch rather than a rematch against the guy that beat you. Because that's the only logical sense it makes to me. Why would you be facing someone that, I mean, really, in my opinion, Cena's rematch shouldn't even be valid.
Right.
But that's, I'll work with
and you know what, though? I think we've all voiced our opinions of how poorly they've handled this. It's it's not the end of the world, but they could be doing a lot better job of it. And it's pretty
understand why they're doing it. Could have been better.
And on that note, though, too, if they're going to do it the way they've done it, this is the way to do it. Because if they had, because Rey Mysterio is a former world champion, 2-time champion,
right?
And he's proven to not be a draw. At best, he's going to be an intermittent champion. Anyway, from here on out, I think they've come to terms with that. So when it comes down to, okay, do we want The Miz to hold the title for 50 minutes before losing it again, or Rey Mysterio doing that? The choice is Rey Mysterio, because The Miz they still need to build up as a credible long-term, especially the way his first championship ended. Mysterio, he's in the twilight of his career. There's no denying it. We might see him for another 5 years just doing an Undertaker kind of thing.
Oh, hopefully not.
Mysterio, yay! And he's gone for a while. Oh, it's Rey Mysterio, yay! And he's gone.
Well, I mean, I could honestly see him doing something like what they do when they bring back Sergeant Slaughter, or they bring back, they brought back the Brooklyn Brawler that one time. Old school Raw. Again,
yeah, we're definitely going out of our way, but, do you guys want to get back to this match? Because we didn't, talk about some of the individual moments in it.
You're right.
With basically, probably the moment that really shocked everyone was when Ray, did a senton and then he fucking put him in the STF. Like that.
That was actually kind of...
That was such a stretch. He could barely hook Cena's leg, but he did it.
But he did it so quickly, too. He just floated the fuck over. It was, I was damn impressed.
His leg it's just that his leg was touching John Cena's leg, and therefore John Cena's leg was immobilized. So,
and also,
yeah, go ahead.
And also, Cena was doing some really strong stuff. Ray tries to do a Hurricane Rana, and Cena fucking power bombs him. Then that really haggard looking leg drop he did.
Yeah, they're bringing back the power bomb, which I'm glad. I'm really glad they're bringing back the powerbomb because
it's such a valid counter to so many. It's such a valid counter to so many moves.
Well,
there's that. Plus, it's a very versatile move. There's many different variations.
I think they should
be used in so many different ways.
Yeah, they should definitely bring it back for people to use anyone to use a transitional move, not necessarily as a finish. They got Sheamus with the high cross, but
that's the Razor's Edge.
But that's pretty much his death move. Mostly his finish is a brogue kick.
Right.
May even be giving him the cloverleaf soon. So
I hope they give him the cloverleaf. He only used it once, but it was great. It makes so much sense. He's an Irish guy. Come on. Why did no one think of this before?
Isn't it?
No, it's just a cloverleaf. It's just a cloverleaf. But it wouldn't really matter if it was a Texas cloverleaf anyway. They'd still just call it a cloverleaf. They'd probably just call it the Irish cloverleaf, or the Dublin cloverleaf, or the, I don't know, generic Irish term cloverleaf.
Apparently the idea of Sheamus having a cloverleaf brings the Arrow into a sugar high, but I don't...
No, it's just, the thing is, it just makes so much sense.
It does, yeah. I
Why didn't no
one
think of this before? It's just like a brain fart moment,
But yeah, basically the finish is Cena tries for the AA, Ray kicks him and he goes for the 619, but Cena hits the AA finally and he wins the title. Hard fought match, he's celebrating the belt is draped over his head and the fucking strings of the riff of Cult of Personality hits. And
Actually, I think right. Cult of Personality. I haven't listened to the actual song in a while before this. Does it actually have the kind of the audio crackle where you it sounds like you cut something out, like they just pulled the plug? But as the first thing you hear, because I remember they cut off JR mid-sentence, and then you hear that kind of static, and then it goes right into it. It's like very momentarily. But I just rewatched it when I watched
the way I remember it. Cult of Personality has like a speech. I forgot what it was, but the song itself has a speech in the front of it.
Oh, okay.
But what happened was like you hear the riff once, and JR is talking, and then you hear it twice, and he stops. He's like, what? And I don't know about you guys, but I was like, yeah, I knew who this was, and I was fucking excited. Because, like, wow, they actually licensed that song for him.
Yeah, I'm guessing that was in Punk's contract.
Yeah, but for those who don't know, when CM Punk did his whole Summer of Punk thing in Ring of Honor after he won the title, signed the WWE contract in it, he cut a promo saying, like, he is the devil himself, and I fooled everyone, and he started coming out to Cult of Personality, which made, like, complete and utter sense, and he's doing the exact same thing now, and it's perfect music for him. He comes in the ring, like, with a very slow entrance, a very slow, like,
methodical.
Main event-esque entrance, like he's a top guy now, and he brings in the belt, like Cena holds his up, like, sort of half-heartedly, and then, like, Punk raises his much bigger title.
He gets a minor pop, too. He gets the kids and the women, and probably a couple mark males that dress up like him.
Yeah.
I don't like those guys.
This is a good way. I mean, again, space it out over several shows what they've done here, but for what they are doing, damn good.
This is a classic case of booking like 6 months in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I mean, again, I think even a 2-month gap the heat would just die down. Like, even after 2 months, like, it would be, his specter would have faded.
Not if they kept him going around doing appearances with the WWE Championship all over the place.
True, but the only people who really follow that are the internet. Like, the...
Yeah, I know.
I know.
This is what you have to do. This is what you have to do. You have to have CM Punk come in and do an anti-drug speech at local schools, where he comes in with like the DARE officer and he's telling them to be drug-free and he's holding the title belt with him, and then they get it on like local news channels and all that stuff, and then it gets national.
And he insists on booking himself being introduced as the WWE champion.
Well, guys, I know I'm not supposed to jump in until SmackDown, but I'm just going to jump on what Christopher is saying.
That sounds
weird. They have a very, very, very small window of opportunity here. No matter what they would have done to try and keep him sort of in the public eye, it just wouldn't be the fucking same. What I said on the forums was that if he's gone, even if he's gone and he's calling himself the WWE champion and he's making appearances on shows and doing all these other public appearances and stuff like that, if John Cena is going around calling himself the WWE champion and he's defending the WWE championship and there's a couple different contenders for the WWE championship and and they don't mention CM Punk on TV at all.
Well, no. Vince wasn't going to mention Punk.
Well, no. But
nor did Triple H. Like, I mean,
what reason? But what storyline reason would Triple H, if Punk is gone from the company, what kayfabe reason would Punk have? I mean, would Triple H have to mention CM Punk?
He could acknowledge the chance. He could say that just Vince is no longer in charge, so I'm willing to talk about this CM Punk situation.
This kind of thing would not work beyond, I'd say, a month.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I'm saying they should have stretched it out to SummerSlam, but not really beyond
31 days is a long time.
Yeah, if it had gone like I was even saying that like if this had the WrestleMania build up where they have like a month and a half to get to the show, then I would have no problem with it. I just think if you start stretching it out 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, the impact of CM Punk coming back with the belt is just a little bit diminished.
Especially when they have that stipulation where if you don't defend the championship within 30 days, you vacate it.
Yeah, so it's like he's not even... And John Cena would wear the championship with prestige, and that would have been what. But the thing is now is that Punk can come back and say he has a legitimate claim to being the WWE champion because he wasn't gone for very long. He's signed. If Punk comes back 2, 3, 4 months down the road and John Cena or whoever's the WWE champion has been defending the belt, how can Punk come back and say, I'm the champ? Well, you haven't been wrestling for 2, 3, 4 months, and I've been busting my ass defending the belt. You know what I mean?
Another thing they could have done is have current established superstars like Alberto Del Rio and everything who are challenging for the belt saying, it's not like you're a legitimate champion anyway. This other guy, beat you and you never fought him again.
But, back to why this is effective from the standpoint of CM Punk's character, there was a blog writer who summed it up which I'll try to reiterate, in the best way I can, but basically CM Punk, ever since he cut that one promo, is all about disrupting the balance, which he did completely when he won the title initially. Now, the weeks after that, they're going to say, okay, we're going to wishy-washy over this, we're going to pretend he didn't exist, we're going to take away his claims to fucking glory and to bring us down by instituting a new title and instituting a new regime and again having another title holder. With CM Punk coming out here, once again, he completely crumbles everything down.
Isn't that what I said on the boards?
You did. You did.
Also, if we want to go back to the match, just one thing. When at the finish of the match, when Ray's going for a stupid 619, basically they always act like his drop toe hold onto the ropes is like death. But Cena is already hanging off of the thing it's not even like a botch, but his shoulders already ready to press up off of it. So the whole time you knew that was going to be the finish of the match, and that really still bothers me for some reason. Doesn't make me happy. It's just when you see other guys with the 619, they either they'll catch Ray or they'll make him just completely miss. But no, Cena, it's a better setup for the attitude adjustment, FU, whatever. But it just looked like Ray didn't even have a shot the entire time.
Yeah. It's kind of if Ray had actually won this match, that would have been a huge shocker just because anytime someone wins the title in the start of the show and then has to defend it at the end of the show, that's kind of a dead giveaway.
Yeah.
Right. It's
pretty much
especially when you're facing John Cena and Jerry Lawler literally compared during the match.
Yeah.
But
right. Maybe we should start, heading down the road towards SmackDown.
Yeah, and what we were discussing kind of bleeds into it because
SmackDown, the Wizard of Oz, do you know?
Shut up.
Yeah, it's Friday Night Zackdown.
No, Kevin Nash is the Wizard of Oz. But
I
thought he was Super Shredder.
He was.
No, he's actually Odin.
Oh yeah, he was Odin in the Thor Asylum.
Sci-fi, yeah.
What we're discussing pretty much bleeds into it because the first person who comes out is the Chief Operating Officer. I'll say it again, Triple H. He's State of SmackDown address, and he pretty much starts off by saying he's like, hey, you think you got things under control, and then something new completely comes up on you. This job is a lot harder than I thought it was when I first took it.
Then he talks about the stupid title situation on Raw, and then he talks about the title situation.
Before he even got in the ring, though, he imitated the Vince strut.
Oh yeah, He was started Vince strutting, and then he was like, nah, I'm not like that.
You're supposed to like me.
Although that is one of the funniest and most likable little bits of Vince McMahon ever.
Ooh, but to go off on
you see, this isn't this Triple H has a beard, so he's not a heel.
Dude,
so we can trust him.
To go off on,
but he's in a suit, so he is going to be a dick.
Good point.
Go off on another kind of related tangent. That thread in the forums about one of the quote-unquote proposed scripts where Triple H was just going to come out, pedigree CM Punk, and then he would have turned heel. Number one, do you believe that that's actually true? And number two, what if?
What if we would all be we wouldn't even be talking about fucking Raw. We would have fucking skipped Raw, and we'd all be foaming at the fucking mouth to talk about SmackDown.
That would have been Victory Road proportions of epic stupidity.
Yes, that would have been 3 shows of rage kind of stupidity.
Everyone gets to say Super Show.
Yeah.
I think Nash on that guy with the glasses would have covered in what the fuck is wrong with you.
Yeah, Triple H talks about the title situation breaking off from there. He says both men have legitimate claims. One was treated out of a rematch, and one is the champion who resigned. He talks about how he just spoke it over with CM Punk and he signed him to another contract, which you'd think that something like that would have its own segment, but I guess Triple H just kind of
the contract signing.
Yeah,
yes, because we all love contract signings.
I mean, good when it happened with McMahon, but he says he'll deal with all that Raw, and at that Christian's music hits.
Go!
Yeah, I hate that version. He basically comes in to suck up to Triple H. Says like, oh, I can't express how glad I am that you're in charge of SmackDown. Like, it's been in shambles since Teddy Long has been around, and listening to everything the fans have been doing, kissing Randy Orton's ass, etc., etc.
So true, so true. Christian has been getting screwed, man.
And basically, since I'm the World Heavyweight Champion, I should work closely with you. And Hunter's like, get the fuck away from me.
I don't like people interrupting me.
I'm Triple H, damn it.
I'm the game.
It's like, are you seriously trying to pull what I always pulled? Like, Triple H created that whole gimmick. Are you seriously gonna fucking try it?
You make the rules, and we'll break them. Basically, everyone gets all pissy at Christian. And then who would come out but R-Truth? Back on SmackDown. Everyone's happy to see R-Truth. Home cooking. He's wearing his...
Going in that direction.
Well, no, I'm sorry. That's how he came out. And he's like, it's good to be home. Got all my home, whatever. I don't know what he said. He said a bunch of stuff, and then he cut a great promo. He cut a great Insane R-Truth promo, because, heel R-Truth is
so much better than face R-Truth. That's
so much better than face R-Truth.
Well,
I don't even want to talk about face R-Truth.
Well, that's because when he was a babyface, he was pretty much doing everything that Vince McMahon told him to. So, like, there's a huge rumor going around that when he initially came into the WWE, Vince McMahon basically showed him, this is how you're going to enter. Like, whenever you do your what's up thing.
Let's crank it up!
But yeah, he basically says he wants to axe Triple H, question Triple H. He says axe away.
Oh, that's how it's gonna be.
Which he stole from the movie Analyze This.
Well,
still funny.
No, it was.
Yeah.
It was.
Can we just have more segments? Can we just have more segments of R-Truth and Triple H shooting the shit?
Yeah, seriously.
Yes, we could give them their own WWE online show.
Yeah.
That actually would be a better idea than more segments. But...
And now, it's Axe Away with Triple H and R-Truth. And I'm your host, Little Jimmy.
What? Little Jimmy's hosting this?
But Truth goes on about his conspiracies. He wants them to be straightened out because he is, and I quote, a man of action.
I said this earlier, but I am waiting for this whole conspiracy angle to play off where he was right the whole time.
He's like, Triple H basically he's like, no, don't bring all your people to the ring. He's like, I'm glad you're here tonight because you the man of action, are going to get to face Randy Orton. Which,
I wonder how this one ends.
Yeah, I wasn't really expecting much from that. And oh yeah, Christian, he says like, hey, if you need any advice, like I could give you some.
He's got great legal counsel.
He's like, here, just sign the contract before this match, and he'll kick you in the balls, and you could win. But H goes on to tell Christian that he has his own opponent. It's John Morrison, who also followed up to SmackDown for some reason.
He's following
Friday Night Raw.
Friday Night
Raw. Following the truth.
So anyway,
stalking R-Truth, that's kind of creepy, and I think it might be a hate crime.
Yeah, never really.
Well, R-Truth's insane.
Never really expected that.
He's not stalking him because he's black. He's stalking him because he's crazy.
Yeah. Anyway, Triple H is talking with Teddy Long, and I'll stop doing the lame accent. But guess who would appear? None other than the Long Island Ice Z, the woo kid, Zack Ryder. And he basically wants to be involved. He wants to be on TV, like pretty much all he's been saying since he started Z, True Long Island Story. And then Hunter's just like, Zack, you've been bothering me. I've only had this job for 10, 11 days, and you've talked to me 15 times for each one of those days. And then he's just like, well, Teddy, I don't like you because your jacket's way too big, and Zack, you're really annoying because you're from a Long Island, and I'm a blue blood. So I'm going to pair you two together, and it's going to be just like the Odd Couple. And Teddy's like, oh, no. And Zack's like, yeah, broski, fist bump. But my only worry about this is that Zack Ryder's just going to end up being like the stooge that Patterson and Briscoe were for Vince, but for Teddy.
Would not mind at all. Like I kind of think, I hate to say it for him because I think he wants more to be like a title holder, if at least mid card or anything. But he might eventually gel into the Matt Striker role. You never know.
The thing is,
we go to our first match. Christian versus John. Wait, did you finish talking about the promo?
Yeah, I'm done. Yeah,
okay.
We're good.
Christian versus John Morrison, which it's a non-title match. Damn, this was pretty good. Like it reinforced why I'm so excited that Morrison's back. He pulled out a lot of good stops. Like he was very well coordinated and selling his neck, as that's what he had to get surgery on.
This is the match they did the C4 in, right?
Yeah, he did the standing C4, which
I was thinking I couldn't remember if that was his Raw match or not. Oh wait, no, he did a Starship. He didn't have a match on Raw. That's right. I was confused.
But God, like when you think about it, it almost seems like a shot at Sin Cara that now he's doing the C4s.
He didn't use it as a finisher though.
Yeah. Still.
He used it as a regular move. I think he get a 2 count or something like that. Plus, Sin Cara is booked for his first day back against card subject to change.
Oh.
That's another interesting situation.
But like in terms of the back and forth psychology, like it was essentially John Morrison is very hungry, but Christian is very smart, and like he basically attacked his neck throughout the entire thing. Did it in a bunch of ways, like threw him down, draped him over the ropes, like tried like an inverted DDT.
Yeah, and he's Canadian.
And that rope throw was not a gentle rope throw either. That was...
Yeah. Don't you love it when there's good wrestling, though?
Right. I really like the finish, though. The finish, we see Morrison going for Starship Pain. But the thing is, like we've seen in the past, just like how Bourne does it with the Shooting Star Press, where he does land on his feet. But this time, like his legs gave way, and then Christian drops Morrison. He does his little, he just drops his Morrison on his neck on the ropes, and then he hits the kill switch. In this kill switch, he really turned really fast. There was really fast rotation on this.
No, it was basically like he kind of turned slowly, and then it clicked like into position.
Kind of exactly how I guess you kind of think a name like the kill switch would go.
or it kind of looked kind of like a Twist of Fate almost.
We don't talk about those moves.
But after
Twist of Weight.
It's like we have to talk about everything.
Twist
after the match, they pan over to the skybox where Jinder Mahal and Great Khali are watching, and it's like,
thank God we kept them out of the ring, both of them.
Yeah, but what fucking stake those two have in like any of the show? Like they're not involved in any angle. It's just.
Why do we care?
Whatever airs in India right now, I bet they're thinking that Great Khali is like the new owner of WWE because they saw Vince got fired on Raw. so now they see him. Oh, look at Khali! He's up there in the press box. He's looking down on all his people. They love him.
I just don't understand why we're...
It's Great Khali, SmackDown #1 reporter.
Why are we supposed to care about Jinder Mahal at all? I don't understand. Honestly, it seems like they're already fucking regretting even,
they are.
It was a shit idea because #1, we have Del Rio already.
Well, plus Jinder, where the hell did he even come from? He wasn't an FCW.
He was.
Okay.
He had more of a suit kind of gimmick with a turban.
Okay, now I remember him. He just looked a lot different. Wow.
No, it's because he doesn't have the turban anymore. But yeah,
it's a good gimmick for him.
Back from the break, and
gentlemen, the way to tell your Indians apart is whether or not they have a turban.
Well, some are Sikhs, some are.
Hey, some are like Haji.
Yeah, to fill this hole before we dig it even further, I almost said 4.
Johnny Quest.
Back from commercial, Wade Barrett is in the ring, and unfortunately, because he doesn't really have a claim to anything else, he's doing the kind of. Unfortunately, he's in a position where he's doing a very, 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 very heel move and saying, I deserve the Money in the Bank briefcase because Daniel Bryan...
I took a bunch of elbows and a kick to the face during the match.
It's basically I lost legitimately, give me my title shot.
I lost, damn it. That means I have...
When I was on Raw, I was a bit like Julius Caesar.
But what makes this good, though, is that Wade Barrett was tweeting for the previous 3 or so days about how Daniel Bryan fans are the bane of his existence. They should all unfollow him. He makes professional wrestling not fun anymore. It's
exactly, which I thought was weird, but I guess if it's for the angle.
They're really liking to use Twitter for their storylines anymore.
I don't think they will. I think this was just kind of
it was just his doing.
A practice for him to do something. He knew what he was going into, so he figured, hey, why not start into it?
Well, they've done that with a few other things too.
Right.
So CM Punk.
But
right. This happened. Barrett takes claim for making Daniel Bryan how good he was.
It was funny though because some continuity discrepancy. Daniel Bryan basically says you did not mold me. I made myself, and I made a statement with the initial Nexus invasion. As soon as you saw a threat, you kicked me out. Now, last year after Bryan Danielson had gotten unceremoniously fired for doing his job, Barrett was none of us show remorse for what we're doing, and the only one who did it is Daniel Bryan, and you'll never see him on TV ever again. So that was their reason, which I'm sure Barrett probably improvised, but it's kind of interesting that they're doing this.
It's a 3-month rule, bro. Didn't happen.
But yeah,
it's kind of like Punk though. He'll reach back and pull something out of.
Oh yeah, no, Punk can break that rule. He went all the way back to Backlash 2008.
Unforgiven.
Unforgiven. That's what it was.
But the funny thing was when Daniel Bryan initially interrupted him, he had his briefcase. He says he's like Wade, your originality isn't your strong suit. Someone else tried to challenge me for this, and that man was Heath Slater, and I made him tap. And it was funny because Barrett, he immediately took umbrage to that statement. He was like, "You're not going to compare me with Heath Slater."
He's like, no, fuck that.
Pretty much,
I am not Heath Slater.
If Wade Barrett wasn't reserved in British, that would pretty much be his berserk button.
I am nothing like that man.
That's
I am nothing like my father,
TV trope reference I made tonight. But
you don't know. What I don't understand is, I know this is going to be a little off topic, but why do they keep giving Heath Slater a microphone?
I don't know.
He's had a microphone for every single time I've seen him.
because
the last 2 SmackDowns on Superstars, he's the one-man Southern rock band now. Because he's starting to quote Johnny Cash. I hate you, Heath Slater. I hate you.
Is he calling himself Southern?
He's from West Virginia.
No, this is the way I look at
it. It's a whole nother country.
This is the way West Virginia is south, because if it's north, it's part of Ohio. Fuck you. The way I look at it with Heath Slater is they give him a microphone because he doesn't realize how bad he is, but everyone else is just laughing at him.
Yeah, that's kind of what I figure it is.
Yeah.
Every time he talks, it just makes me think, you know what you remind me of, Heath Slater, with your red hair and your bad accent? You remind me of a rube. I was doing a bad Hannibal Lecter impression.
You remind me of a Junior Bacon cheeseburger.
You know what I don't understand is okay.
I just got that.
Yes, it's a Wendy's reference. But again, with this man, they need to cut his hair, change his look, give him a spray tan. They can have him pair off with Zack Ryder, and he can do all sorts of wacky things to change his look up.
Okay, Arrow, go find a paper bag to breathe into, and the rest of us will go.
Cody Rhodes does not live down the street. I'm sorry.
But either way, yeah, Daniel Bryan, amid the interruption, he says, like, I'm going to main event WrestleMania, etc.
So is the Royal Rumble pointless?
Maybe.
No.
It'll probably be a Benoit-esque triple threat.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So who's going to be the double murder-suicide this time?
Daniel Bryan's dog.
Whoa!
Ooh.
It's a shameful thing.
Oh, but either way, Wade Barrett punches him. He pretty much like sucker punches him down, like takes the briefcase, starts posing, and then Daniel Bryan just yanks him and puts him in the label lock, and Barrett starts tapping. Yeah.
They're doing a good job of making the lapel look deadly.
The crippler lapel face.
But yeah, like as I've been saying, also he's fucking tapping people without using the label lock. So that's kind of a protected like character if they're letting him do that.
I think, like I said, they're trying to make the small guys look more credible, so they're letting them do more variety. They're trying to let them show off their. I hope this is what they're doing. This is all speculation and rumor, but this is what I hope they're doing.
If you look at their mid card now, all the up and comers that they don't have that many big guys.
Right.
Hey,
but I mean,
like,
this thing is all the top guys, though. I mean, you've got your Randy Orton, and they want to push Ted DiBiase, but they're like, well, we dropped the ball with him, 3 times?
But I'll sit here and say it. I don't even think of Randy Orton as a big guy, quote unquote, per se.
He's not like Cena big, but he's like
he's up there though.
He's up there, but he's not legend killer big anymore.
6'3", 6'5" ish.
He's not.
He's a lot leaner.
Yeah, he's lean. The thing is, like, what is he, like, 1% body fat?
Well, here's what I'll say about that. You can clearly tell that he's actually working out and not on roids anymore. That's what I'll say. Because if you look at other old pictures of him, he looks like such a fucking meathead.
Well, he admitted to ODing. He had an OD. What was it? It was a radio interview. Plus, it's also supposed to be part of his new DVD they're coming out with.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm looking forward to that. But either way, like,
I wonder what they're going to call it. The Apex Predator, the Viper, Randy Orton.
Something dark.
Shut up, Arrow.
Sorry, generic junk that we call him.
Shut up.
Something Dark Match's Undertaker Genghis has been saying is that apparently the backstage, I don't know like how he figures it, but the backstage, he thinks Vince really likes Daniel Bryan. Like he thinks that he finds him credible. He finds him that he could really kick someone's ass. And
but he's got vitiligo.
What's wrong with that?
He's dead.
Don't you talk about vitiligo in front of FIFA.
The only other famous person with vitiligo is dead.
Dude, there are 10 people in history that have vitiligo that are famous.
I only know one, and he's dead.
That's because we make up less than 1% of the world's population.
Chief is just taking offense to this again.
Yes, I am.
I have no problem with it.
Oh, that's not what your words say.
That was a joke.
Okay, let's avoid these minefields. Teddy Long is...
and vitiligo are such a
Teddy Long's my boy backstage.
This is not about vitiligo. This is about people who tan.
This is about my boy Zack Ryder backstage.
Yeah,
and Mark Henry wants an opponent because.
My face gets blotchy.
Oh god!
But Mark Henry, no one will face Mark Henry because everyone's so scared of him, and there's a pending lawsuit apparently with I'm guessing the sound technician.
And there are a lot of eggshells on the floor around me. But
Silverback Gorilla Mark Henry, I mean, the world's strongest man. basically demands an opponent, and Zack Ryder's like, but Teddy's like, I don't know, playa. And then Zack's like, yo, broski, I got you. I got a boy. I got a guy. And then we go to commercial. But then who would come out but Mark Henry in the ring? Somebody's going to get their wheat thin. Somebody's going to get their checks mixed. Eat him up. Eat him up.
Hey, that's happening later.
Arrow.
My bad.
But
sorry, I'm really excited. I was really excited.
Arrow, seriously, calm down.
After another segment with
puffs away. You don't need the sugar. Okay.
The whole thing about like Teddy Long and Mark Henry is that Teddy Long and Zack Ryder is that they do the whole straight man goofball thing very well with like, but the funny thing about it is that like there's no reason for Teddy Long to be like shaking his head and rolling his eyes at Zack Ryder or being impatient with him when he really hasn't done anything.
I think the thing is just like, I think they're playing off the fact that everyone thinks Zack Ryder is just like a joke, and he's this annoying Guido, and like
he's the guy that sang Friday on WrestleMania.
Yeah,
and then got hit in the head by the coconut.
But
he will get Piper back one day. Mark my words.
Oh, that'll be his.
It's not so much that he's done anything in particular. It's just that he's Zack fucking Ryder.
Yeah,
he's getting zacked. He's getting zacked.
But either way, our next segment is a package featuring Justin Gabriel returning home to South Africa and to pure adulation.
He main evented.
Yeah, of particular note is that he says wrestle quite a bit.
I'm pretty sure all the papers said wrestle too.
Yeah. Sorry, Vince.
Oh well.
But again,
I think they're getting over that now. We're just like
they're also getting over. Like, sorry. Go ahead. Yeah.
Where it's just like, what's the point of not? Everyone thinks it's wrestling. Everyone knows it's wrestling. Let's just call it wrestling. It's like after CM Punk broke the fourth wall with that one, it's like, why not just call it wrestling? He said it. Acknowledged they're wrestling. Move on.
He also talked about it on the BS report with Bill Simmons, if you listen to that ESPN interview that he did.
Yeah.
And
they
then
obviously
also
don't care about that anymore.
Back to Gabriel, it's good to see him like kind of appreciated. They're obviously billing him as like their next, I guess, mid card babyface. I think he got probably the best cut in terms of the music, whatever genre it was. I think.
Well, actually, no. The new Nexus took his music.
Oh yeah, they did, didn't they?
Yeah. They took it on this show.
Actually,
I guess technically they took it on Superstars. But.
It's the feeling that you get. But
yeah.
Our next match is Natalya, Caitlyn, and AJ versus Tamina, Alicia Fox, and Rosa Mendez. And like before anyone says anything, because like I almost had an argument with No Leaf the other day. AJ is essentially a sacred cow with me. Like
seriously, man.
Yeah,
come on.
very much. Come on. Very
come
much.
On. Just because she does a Shining Apprentice and can do the octopus and it jumps a lot and is cute and plays Xbox and likes video games and she's the girl next door and
yeah,
Josh Matthews says a bunch of stuff about her every time because no one else wants to.
That's essentially it.
And she's
one of the best female.
Who did she kiss again? Was it Matt Striker?
It was Hornswoggle.
Oh God, that's right.
Which kind of diminishes, but
yeah, she's still got the beard fight. Right? She's still got the beard hair in her mouth.
Anyways.
Yep, no longer a sacred cow.
Nonetheless, like another 2011 current WWE Divas match. Even considering like
say it wasn't good.
Yeah, like I haven't seen Rosa Mendez enough to really get like my overall opinions of her. Like
Booker's seen enough. I'll tell you that much.
As far as I'm concerned. Oh yeah, it's as with like his commentary. He was like, "I'm a married man, but that Rosa Mendez is something else."
And then there's also the thing is she came out for some reason with a white shirt that was over her ring gear, and then he's like, "Oh, look at Rosa, she's about to do something. Oh wait, she's just getting ready to go in the ring." He was like marking out for her taking off a shirt that she had no business wearing in the first place. And then Cole's like, "Yup." Oh God. This was. I don't know. I mean, I think it's nice that they have Natalya, like, mentoring Caitlyn and AJ, but, you know, at least make them win sometimes.
Yeah, that's what I don't get.
I know AJ's won, like,
AJ won
twice. Twice? Yeah, twice. But the thing is, when you pair them as a tag team, there's no women's tag titles. So, I understand you want to get them all.
Why are they always in tag team matches?
Because they have so many divas signed and they need to get them all TV time, even if it's only like 2 minutes. They still say, yes, we're not being sexist, we're giving you the allotted time, whatever. Fit Finley's fired. He can't save you now.
Yeah, nothing much to say about this match. There's some back and forth with AJ. She tries the Shining Wizard. Oh, she does one, gets a near fall, and the finish is Alicia Fox hitting a scissors kick and on the lower back. So she's still uncoordinated. Oh, and by the way, Booker T credits himself with teaching her that scissors kick, which you
don't want to take credit for.
Dude,
I thought
give yourself some credit, please. Stop selling yourself short, Booker.
Yeah, no. Well, it's funny because every time she'd do it before, he's just like, oh, I know that move. It looks familiar.
No, that was when R-Truth did it, but like.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I would want him to take credit for that.
Black people the scissor kick.
I don't know.
Okay, moving on.
Yeah, I'm not even trying to be racist, but you know, there's always
no. Here's the tip for every white person ever. If you have to start a sentence with the words, I'm not trying to be racist, but...
It's racist, you know, that's funny.
But either way, we come back from commercial after that Mark Henry package that they've been playing, when
somebody's gonna get their ass kicked.
Yeah, when you go in the ring with me, someone's gonna get their checks mixed. And, as it turns out, Mark Henry is wrestling Philadelphia great Bobby Howard.
Bobby Howard actually got cheered, and I don't even think it was piped in. There's no reason they pipe in a jobber.
No, but yeah, he basically has cold feet as he walks very slowly, then he reconsiders.
Booker calls him malnourished.
Oh God, that's
the guy had a six pack. Sure, he wasn't like he clearly did not squat much, and he clearly did not curl much. But you know, the guy had a strong core at least.
And Zack Ryder's pretty much talking him into go. He's like, you can, bro. On.
You can be Grossy of the Week, man.
It's your night, bro.
You can do it. You can do it, man.
I believe in you.
And the match starts, choke bomb by Henry, world's strongest slam, and then backbreak.
Does he do the splashes? Does he do the splashes?
Splashes?
Maybe, no, that was the last time. I think it was against Kane. Where he like double splashes him after the first World's Strongest Slam doesn't work or something.
Yeah,
whatever.
But nonetheless, squash match to get Mark Henry over, and he's about to Pillmanize him or Swagger Bomb Pillmanize him, and Teddy Long is like, "We go way back, playa. Don't do this. I got more love. Get lawsuits and ring possibly." And, well, whatever Philadelphia promotion he's involved with.
EC-Dub. Okay. Yeah. Just.
But Mark Henry reconsiders, and then Sheamus comes out, and fucker's a babyface now.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know, he was getting a babyface reaction for quite some time. When I was at Money in the Bank, the people in Chicago loved Sheamus.
And it's actually, I actually found it was actually kind of a feel-good moment, no matter how effective you find Mark Henry as a heel. I mean, he's been doing all right, but like he's not particular. Like I don't really necessarily want to see him get his ass kicked. But Sheamus says the right thing. He's like, "You're looking for someone to fight Mark Henry. I'm the guy." And
yeah,
perfect. Like
yeah, and plus he wasn't doing anything. He had nothing going on. Sheamus had nothing going on. Plus, you know, the weird thing is, I never thought I'd be able to see him as a face. I never thought I'd be able to see him as a face, but prove me wrong.
Yeah, I think
it's really easy to push an Irish guy as a face, though. I mean, all you gotta do is have some bad heel acting like a badass, beating the shit out of people, and it's like, who's gonna do it? Who's gonna fucking come at me? And the Irish guy goes, "I'll fight you, fella."
Yeah,
it's an Irish thing. I remember that's didn't he just cut that promo like 2 weeks ago? Why are you always beating people up, Sheamus? It's an Irish thing, fella.
But what I was going to say is that I feel like his transition to being a face was pretty smooth and pretty organic.
Yeah.
It wasn't like they tried to like force it down anyone's throats. It was just like he's a good face now. You know, that's it.
It's not like a weekly thing where like Sheamus is fighting low-level heel number 7.
Well, see, now he went from being
he's facing for the world title as a face or anything.
Now he basically went from being like a petty monster to basically the really cool like guy that
Irish folk stars
that you want to have a fucking pint with, but you're afraid could beat you up if he's drunk.
You don't want to take the discussion of politics while you're drinking with him.
But what do you think about the IRA?
No. Either way, he cuts a really funny promo where he talks about a high king of Ireland called Brian Boru, and
yes, Brian Boru.
He says legend had it that Brian had an illegitimate son, and one day a fairy came along. He took a magic wand, tapped the bastard on the shoulder, and turned him into one great big enormous 425-pound bag of crap.
And they censored bastard on the international broadcast of SmackDown.
Yeah. But it's just the way it kind of turned into him saying great big enormous 425-pound bag of crap. That was fun.
Speaking of babyface Irishman, where the hell has Hornswoggle been?
He's on NXT. He's the revolution of NXT.
It's like let no one in any plane of consciousness know that, or anyone involved with the WWE know that someone's bringing up Hornswoggle and wondering where he is.
Exactly. You know, the sad thing is, Grisham and Regal get Hornswoggle over every single week. They're just like, the WWE universe really connects with Hornswoggle. They just love the little guy. It's like, who is this? Who? I've never seen anyone wearing a Hornswoggle shirt except for Hornswoggle.
Yeah.
Let's not talk about Hornswoggle anymore. Let's move on.
All right. Anyway.
Either way, Mark gets
There's
pissy.
A standoff.
Mark Henry gets pissy. He tries to clothesline Sheamus, but he lets him go over the ropes. He grabs the chair and he starts banging it on the ground threateningly, and face turn. I'm quite glad that happened. I was definitely anticipating it.
That's how you do a fast face turn. I think they could have done that with Christian too, with his heel turn though.
Well, see, that's
they waited a month and two.
Not so much that his heel turn failed or that he's bad at being a heel. It's just that we've since he came back from TNA, he's pretty much just been the consummate babyface for no other reason than the crowd knows him.
Yeah,
right.
The crowd wants to cheer him. Heel turns are very difficult. He's going to have to do something very, very.
I think the thing is when he could have turned heel the first time he was screwed. He could have turned heel right after he was screwed with the 2-day reign or the 5-day kayfabe reign. I think if you turn heel, you just that's when you got screwed. That's the moment you snap right away. That's more of a heel action to snap right away instead of being patient. That's not heel. Patience. That's for baby faces.
At any rate, moving on.
Fourth match: Usos versus David Otunga and Mike McGillicuddy for the WWE Tag Titles, and with no build-up for however much they really give a shit about the tag titles, which is not at all.
Those things are the most worthwhile things you can ever have. If you want a title, you definitely want the tag titles. Definitely.
Oh hell yeah.
That is a rocket to the moon.
If there's one thing better than having championship gold, it's having championship gold with a friend. Championship
penny.
Sad thing is, all 4 participants, maybe barring Otunga, who himself is he's adequate in the ring. They're all right. The Usos are a good team, and Mike McGillicuddy is getting better.
The Usos do work really well together. David Otunga was Punk on I Love New York, so he's lost all credibility with me together because he's just clearly a reality show hopper, and then he just happened to marry what's-her-face, Jennifer Hudson, and then Michael McGillicuddy looks exactly like Ben Roethlisberger.
But amid everything, Mike McGillicuddy hits the McGillicutter and they retain the titles. And I was once criticized for just saying oh, this match was good because it ended with the McGillicutter, and all matches have to end. And he said it sounded like you were just marking out for a move. Listener, yes, I was.
The thing is, what's sad is the McGillicudder is a more convincing move than the Spinebuster Otunga does, which is terrible.
Oh, yeah, where he just kind of shoves someone, he picks them up.
I was watching Superstars where Slater did a Spinebuster, and it was convincingly better than anything Otunga has ever done.
Slater, like, is, again, a good worker, just a goofball. Like, and completely stuck with that. But
can we put him under a mask? And, like, can he be the new Conquistadors?
Who knows? No, and yeah, he speaks Spanish words, but in his dopey accent.
Ooh, magic, man. Well, that would just be like when the Hardys dressed up as him.
But, and, like, to elaborate, I find the McGillicudder, it's right, I am marking out. The McGillicudder is a good move in an ironic way, because...
Agreed.
It's a fucking snap neck breaker. And the gimmick is that, he hits it so quick, so it takes him out. If, like, especially since, like, another argument that we recently had on the boards dealt with the RKO and how, since you can hit it from nowhere, it's not as good a finisher as anything else. If that's the standard by which you judge a move, then the McGillicudder is even worse. But with like the automatic name like that, and with just its ridiculous premise that somehow manages to finish matches, I like it, and I'll mark out.
The big thing is, though, McGillicuddy will not be officially considered famous until Ben Roethlisberger tries to get out of a rape charge by pinning it on him.
Well, Triple H was at Roethlisberger's wedding.
No, he wasn't.
Yes, he was. Triple H was at Roethlisberger's wedding.
That just lowered Triple H in my eyes so fucking much.
But it's not as low as the Redskins' winning streak.
Fuck you, Tiefus.
But either way, we have another Zack Ryder backstage segment, and this is about like booking a match for between Ezekiel Jackson, Cody Rhodes, and Ted DiBiase, handicap match. No title on the line, just a handicap match, and Zack Ryder kind of gave it the Triple H whitewash, where he was like, I spoke to everyone, they all agreed on the match.
Yes. This sounds, I'm surprised the title wasn't on the line then.
Anyway.
I did. Yeah. This is an alright match. Cody Rhodes really needs knee pads, or he needs to start squatting.
Oh, wait. It's, I mean, this isn't so important. Like, we have a Raw recap. Cole says, like, the title situation will be assessed on Monday. And then we have a backstage segment between R-Truth and Matt Striker.
Oh, yes. How could we forget the segment with R-Truth and Matt Striker?
I can't forget any segment with R-Truth these days.
Well, Matt Striker counterbalances that.
He makes a bit of a simile, and he says he's going to swoop down like a bunch of eagles on a snake. He's like... Yeah.
He referenced the Mexico flag.
Okay.
They were in Virginia, right?
He also finishes it up with, the Vipe is going to get got.
Well, of course. That's everyone gets got.
He's going to get got. That makes so much sense.
At any rate.
There was also a sign in the audience that said, what was it? We got by Ticketmaster.
It's pretty fun.
We need an expert to explain this stuff to us. No Leaf, can you explain what get got means?
It means he's been hoodwinked, bamboozled, fooled, tricked, screwed, inconvenienced.
Well, what if he's going to get someone got?
If someone's going to get got, that means he's going to kick their ass.
Oh, so it's going to be like Mark Henry.
Ish.
Oh, okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, our resident expert on what R-Truth is saying.
Thank you for explaining phonics.
Okay. It was so elegant and subtle until you But
there's this beautiful analogy about eagles catching snakes that doesn't make any goddamn sense, and he's gonna get got.
But But yeah, Ezekiel Jackson versus Ted DiBiase and Cody Rhodes.
With the bag, man.
Don't quite. And they give it back to Booker T. Don't quite remember too much about this match. I'm talking 2 days after I saw it, and not really that notable. I mean, if
I don't know what they're trying to do because they had the guy at the disadvantage in the handicap match lose.
I mean, honestly, I think that they're just going to give Cody Rhodes the Intercontinental belt. That's the next logical progression.
Yeah.
Oh God, we see Jinder next, don't we?
Oh yeah, Jinder Mahal and Great Khali speaking.
Well, at least there's not much to talk about in this segment.
Yeah, they're either
speaking. Because we don't know what the fuck they're saying. We can't turn to No Leaf because he doesn't know him.
You know, wow. You know what's funny is there's not even a rough translation up online.
No,
because
Jinder
no
Mahal
one cares. No one gives a shit about anything that Jinder Mahal does. He's not entertaining. He's not a good wrestler. He doesn't have a personality. He's not charismatic. He's another guy that won't be there in 6 months.
He's married to Khali and Rajan's sister, and Rajan's on the writing staff, so he can keep Jinder alive.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing your new Tyler Rex.
Oh no,
the Dreadlock Demolition Man.
Didn't you say that Great Khali's sister was married to Jinder Mahal?
Correct.
Oh god, what's the name of that woman that was on Tough Enough and it was Miss US?
She was a Muslim, not an Indian.
Well, that probably wouldn't matter to the WWE, would it?
Rima Fakim. She's not under contract, and she's not pursuing any wrestling endeavors. Hence why she was not at the Tough Enough finale on Raw.
But yeah, Jinder Mahal main event, R-Truth versus Randy Orton.
Jinder Mahal main event? What?
He was just glossing over Jinder's stupid segment. Anyways, R-Truth versus Randy Orton.
It was a match. Sorry, I got nothing.
It wasn't anything special until
they did their
water bottle was introduced.
They did their 5 to 7 moves of doom.
There was a lie detector. There was a lie
detector. There was an Osaka street cutter.
I.e. DDT.
Yeah.
Which I do not like the name of that move.
I do. I don't think the WWE actually named it that. I think that's just someone else did.
Oh yeah, Christian comes out, which was stupid. He comes out to near ringside, the ref tells him to back off, and then Randy goes into Viper mode, and then he runs away. And then it was terrible.
And Truth hits him, Randy Orton with a half-empty water bottle. And
yes, the water bottle, the most devastating weapon in all of WWE.
Orton just goes deep shit. And
well, it's like a constant spot in ECW when they would brawl in the crowd is they pick up a cup of beer and splash it in someone's face. The only reason why
that's blinding. He's getting slapped across the face with a plastic bottle that's open.
But it's the same. It's the same deal in the sense that the water splash makes it look like it has some kind of impact.
Right. I do understand that much. But.
And it's supposed to just be insulting. I just smacked you with a water bottle. What you gonna do? Even though I've never.
The sad thing is, every time I think of that, the only thing that comes to mind is that scene in Not Another Teen Movie where...
Oh, yeah, the girl is already wet and she pours it.
Yeah.
Yeah, making fun of the movie Crossroads.
Yeah.
Yeah. I watched that movie. I've seen that movie. It was terrible.
But yeah, we've learned nothing from our tangential discussions. SmackDown was... It had a good match on it. It had a really good match on it. That was Morrison versus Christian.
That Divas match, whoa, wow, that was great.
Yeah.
No, it was not.
But unfortunately,
R-Truth wins by disqualification because Orton tries to put him through the Japanese announce table twice.
Yeah, and then the announcers remind us that since their Christian and Orton's match at SummerSlam is a no DQ, he can use the table as a weapon.
I wonder how that match is going to end.
By the way, though...
Actually, they're probably going to have to bring out guys to completely unscrew the table so that it's so flimsy by the time they stand up on it, it'll fall. I
almost wonder if Christian won't have it for at least till the next pay-per-view, because...
I think he should hold it through SummerSlam, that's just my opinion.
He's still, it's a no DQ match. That means that he could still do whatever the fuck he wants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But because of like everything with CM Punk, SmackDown by default like pales.
Oh God!
And, like, beyond like a match or two that they would usually have that's better than Raw's TV matches. Again, it's been kind of faltering. Like I look forward to how Daniel Bryan is going to be flaunting around his briefcase every week, but again, like it's a long fucking time because like I just want him to fucking cash in and win the title just so I could have that moment. But it's going to be a long time if they're
whenever he finally cashes in, we're going to be marking out. We're going to be screaming like little fucking girls at a Jonas Brothers concert.
Yeah.
Also, you know what's funny? Because Randy couldn't break the table with Christian at Money in the Bank, so he's like heading out. The crowd, we're all chanting one more time, and then he gets the okay from the ref. And Vince is apparently backstage, just like, break the fucking table. He just got so pissed off that he could not break the table, and he goes for it again. And then by the time like he got up, they were gonna do it like a third time. They just canceled it. I'm guessing for time restraint or something like that. But I'm guessing something similar happened this time. But Randy knew instinctively, go for it again, as opposed to this time.
And then there was that other Friday where the table actually tipped over on him and King.
Oh yes, and he stepped through the canvas hole. Also this week, Yeah. No, this week, when he picked up a monitor, the monitor was still on, as opposed to how they're not supposed to be.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty much what's going to happen is SmackDown, the lights will go down, and there's going to be one spotlight on that table, and you're just going to hear.
The general manager has transferred himself to the table.
Yeah, it's like that Wes Craven movie, Shocker.
Yeah.
Yeah, no one else has seen it. No.
I got it.
I got it.
But yeah, that was the week in WWE. Fuck, I'm looking forward to the Raw, and I'm
looking forward to Raw. SmackDown can eat my dick, and SummerSlam should be good.
Well, I wouldn't say SmackDown can eat my dick, but I expect a lot more from it. On that note...
Well, maybe if Zack Ryder's back again, I can be a little happy. But they're going to bring Jinder too, so that's like something not to look forward to. And then, yeah. Sadness ensues. I get to see Randy Orton.
You know, maybe that's the problem with Jinder Mahal. His name is Gender.
It's like gender.
All right.
So he could be like Bender from Futurama. He can be the Gender Bender.
Damn. But
you should have a finishing move named that.
The Gender Bender.
You know what? To wrap up the show, I just came up with a new segment on the spot. What did we do this week that was more interesting? What did we do or see this week that was more interesting than Jinder Mahal? I'll start. I clipped my toenails, and that was more interesting than Jinder Mahal.
I played a bunch of matches with my best friend at Marvel vs. Capcom 3 and lost every one of them. That was more interesting.
I played poker at my bro's house after work.
My cat decided to walk up 10 feet from me, squat on one of my uniform tops from the Army, and took a piss on it right in front of me while staring me in the eye.
And you did nothing about it?
I washed the uniform.
Oh. I guess that's a start. But what happened to the cat?
How are you going to discipline a cat?
With a cattle prod?
What?
God damn it, Arrow.
What's wrong with you?
What the hell?
Oh yeah, Duos is right. A spray bottle. They fucking hate those things.
Yeah, but
laser pointer would do it.
By the time I got over the shock of, did you really just fucking do that? She was done.
That is indeed more interesting than Jinder Mahal. Far more interesting, actually.
Jinder Mahal.
He's a terrible character.
Fuck.
Oh God, we have to end on that. No, I almost wonder if this segment isn't too depressing, but nonetheless, that was DarkMatch this week. I'm Christopher Says. DarkMatch is Mastodon on the monotone. Yawanisi.
I'm Arrow, and all my life. I've been searching for somebody just like you. Next. I don't know any of the lyrics to the song, sorry.
I am no leaf clover, darkness imprisoning me, all I see absolute horror.
My name is Tifus, and the shittiness of those catchphrases is why I don't have one. Thank you, everybody. This has been DarkMatch. Good luck, or good night and good luck.
I'm Mr. War Machine.
God damn it, War Machine!
I didn't think you were going to say cue music.